Our next guest is an entrepreneur, author, and TV personality. But just because she lives in the limelight doesn't mean you know everything about her.
I'm Govan. I'm mostly known for a TV show called Basketball Wives, but I am also an entrepreneur. I am an author, but most importantly, I'm a mother of 4. When I first appeared on Basketball Wives, I had just delivered my 4th baby. I was 234 pounds. I was being called fat girl and like all these names. Before I even had any babies, I was 117 pounds. This is not who I am. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my own body. How am I gonna get back to me? I established a goal that I wanted, which was 130. I have to change my entire lifestyle. I do conditioning, running, weightlifting, but I fell in love with yoga.
Inhale to your up dog, create space, lengthen.
My biggest issue was getting yeast infections because I can't break sugar down. There's so much sugar in so many things, and changing my diet, it was hard. It was a struggle. I just try to eat a lot of green stuff, stay hydrated. I eat a lot of kale, spinach, green apples, cucumbers. I always have my apple cider vinegar. It took me almost a good year to get the weight off. When I look in the mirror, I see a determined woman. My advice to women today, as far as losing weight, being a mom, being sexy, once you learn to live in your own skin, everything else just comes into place. Take your time, restructure your life, and do what works for you.
Join us now, Govan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, it was great hearing about your story. What gave you that push to really get healthier?
You know, my body, I just wasn't happy.
Yes.
And although everybody else was happy and healthy, I felt just uncomfortable and not good. I just didn't feel good. So.
Well, you look good, and I can tell you feel good.
Thank
So
you. I did
yes,
that.
I'm glad you did that for yourself. And so you mentioned you have a big problem with yeast. So you have a problem with vaginal yeast infections. Is that correct? Is there a smell associated with it?
Well, for me, I would say there is. It's not like, I don't walk around smelling like Salmon Coquette. Like, I'm not.
It's not a fishy, it's not a fishy odor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not, you know, I'm fresh, but there's still like, you know, when you start rubbing and the smell, it's like anything. You start rubbing cottage cheese after a while, it's like, it smells like a little cardboard with a little hint of, you know, something.
So overall,
I'm just saying.
Well, the good news is I feel as though we can figure out what that something is.
That sounds amazing.
And yes, and we can figure out a solution. But overall, when women have vaginal itching, they automatically think yeast infection. So a big thing is realize that vaginal itching doesn't necessarily mean yeast infection. A lot of other things can cause vaginal itching. For example, bacterial infections.
Right.
So bacterial vaginosis, that's often associated with the itching. And people will also complain of like a fishy vaginal discharge. Irritants can cause a problem, or sometimes people will have eczema in that area. So there can be a number of causes. That's number one. Number two, a lot of times people will just call the doctor's office and they'll get a prescription for a vaginal yeast infection without being properly diagnosed. So it's important for women to go in and have a swab so that your doctor can look at the swab under the microscope to make sure we're treating the appropriate thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, when I knew it would be yeast infection because I would have it, like my first one I had for like a village, and I was like, okay,
oh my God. It was the cottage cheese discharge.
Yeah, it was like, oh God, what's happening here? And then, yeah, like when I went in, we did the swabbing, we did the whole gamut, but I feel like if, you're right, if it's not diagnosed properly and treated properly, you know, they're reoccurring.
Exactly.
It's like, let's deal with the issue. I don't want to see you again.